Oh yes, again, back in your life, because you need this content. You can't live without this content. SynTown, another episode. Let's get it in. I'm Syndicate, the Lonely Gun superstar to my right.
Hot Sawss Red here telling this story today.
Last episode we was talking about embarrassment and when I was in about the 6th grade. This one, what grade was you in? What story you gonna tell us, man?
This happened when I was in the 7th grade, and it was 2011, and this is the time that I personally took a dump that I can't forget to this day.
It was in 2011. You was in the 7th grade.
That's right.
Paint the picture, Hot Sauce Red. This on you.
This happened in a huge field house, and what a field house is, anyone who's ever been in like a sports program as a kid or something knows the field house, right? It's where the coach sends all the guys or girls in athletics to, you know, store their stuff in their lockers and whatnot. And, you know, there's a washer and dryer, there's a weight room, there's a bathroom, and there's like a shower room, and there's a storage room, okay? And I actually drew a diagram because it's a little confusing for this story, but basically that's what it looks like. There's some bathrooms there, and these are stalls and stuff. But what you got to understand about all of these rooms is that they didn't have a ceiling. The only ceiling was the ceiling of the actual field house, which was maybe about 25 feet high. So
25-foot high ceiling, and you said almost the entire field house is covered with one ceiling.
Right.
Which means the acoustics is crazy. You can hear everything from every room.
Exactly. And these are just 7 feet walls. So someone could easily just like get up on them. And you know, we actually did. So everyone would climb up on those walls. And that is an essential element to this story, which is why I said it. So this is right around the time that this was a Friday and everyone was ready to go home from school. And this was like our last class period. And so we all got done working out, lifting weights, and me and my best friend at the time, and still to this day, we were walking to our lockers, and we were talking about getting Halo Reach. This is 2011. This is when it was coming out, and we were all obsessed with getting the new Halo. We were like, hey, what about that Halo Reach? And so we were talking about it, and so he was like, okay, I need to use the bathroom. I'm like, same. So what we did, I don't know why we did this, probably because we didn't want to stink up the place too bad or something. We just
you don't want to overpower the whole bathroom with two different types. Like, this is beans.
Yeah, I was like, we both
this
need
is
to
cornbread and this is rice and spinach.
For sure.
Just one stink at a time.
Right.
I feel you.
Can't have all of them. So I go into this bathroom, and he goes into this bathroom. But it's still just 7-foot walls, but the whole thing is 25 feet high. So you could easily talk to each other across the wall while you're taking a dump. You could hear, basically, you could hear whatever the other person does. So about 2 minutes into this dump, things went south.
But you said you went to one bathroom at the same time that the other dude. So you in this bathroom, he's in this bathroom.
Yeah, I sat down before he did because I went to a closer one.
All right.
So about 2 minutes into my dump, that's when things went crazy, because over here in the storage area, I hear some noise going on. It sounds like that.
All right.
And about 2 days before, we had gotten this new kid in our class. I should mention this, because this is about to come into play. We had gotten this new kid in our class named Ezekiel. And Ezekiel, what we quickly figured out, was a prankster.
He's a special guy.
He just loved to mess with people. One of a kind. Yep. And he loves to mess with people.
And nobody safe?
Nobody.
Go ahead.
And today he was messing with us.
It's your turn.
So that noise we heard, that was Ezekiel. And he was climbing up on the walls here of this field house. And all of a sudden, we're taking our dumps, and I hear my friend across go, "The heck?" And then all of a sudden there's this, "Ah!" like this screeching noise. And then my friend starts screaming. And that's when I was like, what's going on? And then I found out. Because this kid had climbed across the wall to my side now. And so imagine that you're sitting down taking a dump and you look up and somebody is like spidering like a gargoyle, like perched on the top of the stall looking down at you while you're taking a dump and just looking at him, and then he's screaming at you. What do you do?
You know how vulnerable you gotta be.
What do you do?
You just minding your business and you just taking a number 2 or a number 3.
I remember this.
You right here like this. And you look up. And it's a dude. You said he's like this above you.
He's like
above you
like this. Yes, like that. Just like perched on the top of the stall. And you're taking a dump.
He's suspended in the air, holding on to these stalls, got his feet attached to
them. Yep, and he's like rocking back and forth, going, "Ah, ah," like that.
Like I said in my other video, these little boys is terrorists. You not safe. Talk to your son.
He just wanted to know what would happen if he did that.
Avoid taking a dump in these elementary school and junior high bathrooms at all costs.
You just don't do it.
Try not to, or take it real fast and get the heck out of there.
If you're gonna do it, just tell them they need to be like Metal Gear Solid if they're gonna do it. Just like stealth all the way. If
like you gotta like,
they can't let anybody know they're there.
It's like other things that I didn't tell you in the other video that you could do to mask the splash. Like throw little bits of tissue. And it's disgusting, but we gotta tell these little boys. Throw little bits of tissue in the water to catch the splash. So it's not that loud, okay? I'm sorry I got so emotional. This is passionate. This hit too close to home. I was affected. I was traumatized by what the dude did to me, what I told you in the other video. How did this affect you emotionally to look up at another dude? He's above you. He can do whatever he wants and you can't move because you're in the middle of something. How did this affect you as a man?
Well, at the time, all I could do was just sit there and just let my jaw hang and just wonder what brought this kid to do this. While I'm sitting there, just taking a dump, just laying a deuce, what made this kid crawl up on the stall like a gargoyle and just do that? That's the only thing that could go through my head, other than, because I couldn't be mad. I couldn't have been mad. I could have been a little, I didn't really know what to think, but I wasn't mad. It was, I didn't know what to think. I mean,
you didn't know how to feel. It sounded like it.
Yeah.
Like, was you in that fight or flight mode? Like,
because I thought it was funny.
Do I run? Do I fight? Do I faint?
Because I thought it was funny, but I definitely wasn't laughing. I was like, I was just like this, like all that could happen in my head, all that was going on was, there's somebody above me and I'm taking a crap.
So you didn't know he was above you until he made that noise?
No, I knew he was there as soon as I heard the noise, because that's when I looked up and saw him like that.
He never said nothing else. He just made noises?
Yes.
He didn't say nothing to you. I see you.
But it was like slow motion when it was happening, because my brain couldn't process it fast enough for the imagery that it was displaying. I was just kind of like, oh, oh.
I bet that helped with your digestive process. I bet that doo-doo came out.
It came out real quick after that.
Flip.
It was over. came out real quick.
He runs away. He never said a word to you. He just made sound effects.
Not until the next day we saw him. That was the most awkward when we were approaching him. Because me and my friend got to school around the same time, and we would just hang out. And so, like, we all gathered in the cafeteria, like, before school. It's how I think that's how most schools did that when you got to school. So we would just talk. So the next day we saw Ezekiel, or Monday, because it was a Friday. So
the attack on your spirit, on your emotions.
So we went and talked to
your
him.
Psyche happened on the Friday. You had to sit on that for a whole weekend.
This is the messed up part.
How long did it take you to process? Did it take you all weekend to process what happened?
I mean, not really. I mean, I got back to being normal pretty quick. I was like, okay, yeah, that's just part of being a kid. That's
just my life.
I guess that's what happens when you try to take a dump in middle school and someone knows you're doing it.
You will always get caught by somebody.
Someone
and it ain't a secret after they catch you either. He told people.
Oh, for sure.
The next Monday.
We found out. We found out that he told people.
You know he did. They can't keep a secret when they find out who took a dump. No. You could be the best of friends, but get caught taking a dump. He ain't your friend no more, at least for that little bit of time.
At least for that little bit of time.
What happens on Monday?
On Monday, Grayson was like, hey, let's go talk to Ezekiel. He's like, dude, he's a freak. And we're like, yeah.
I'm avoiding him for the rest of my life.
He's like, because what he did. We're like, yeah. So we were like, hey, Ezekiel, why'd you do that? And
just open up, why'd you do that?
And he's like, why wouldn't I do that?
It's not an answer.
Straight up. He's straight up just like, he didn't have a problem with it, straight up. I don't remember exactly what words were said, obviously, but I remember he all he could say was just like, oh, sorry. Oh well.
How many
I can't live without pranking. So
synonymous with each other.
Yeah.
Ezekiel, pranking.
Yep. Just goes like that.
Intertwined.
So that's the only explanation we got was it's just what he does. And then apparently he played more pranks on more people over the course of years. But that was like the first one when he got to our school. He just crawled up on the stalls while we were taking a dump and just screamed at us. It scared the shit out of us, bro. Literally, bro. Just came down.
You just gotta be in the bathroom.
But you know what's messed up is we stayed friends with him.
You know, like after Ezekiel does that, you just gotta be in the bathroom, like you just gotta hide your identity like this.
You just gotta be in there.
You'll never catch me now. He'll probably grab the umbrella. You gotta take this to the bathroom.
He'll probably go.
Crazy, man. Insane.
What's messed up is we stayed friends with him though. We were just like, you know what? That was a good one. We'll give it to you.
Right.
We can't be mad at it. Because it was funny. Don't get me wrong. It was funny. But it only became funny like on the little last sliver of the weekend after I had time to process it.
It's dang near Saturday and you're like, yeah, that did happen.
And
everything before that is like, that did not happen to me.
I did think it was funny though. Maybe not at the time, but I eventually thought it was funny. So
he did you a good service because of course it wasn't funny at the time.
Because I wouldn't have had that experience if he had not been so crazy.
Because thank goodness for people like that. They give you terrible stories that traumatizes you so you can have a platform like this to tell it on years down the line. That was like 8 years ago and you remember it like it just happened last weekend because of how it affected you. It's kind of like, shameless plug, episode 6, peanut butter and what, whenever I told you the story about Veronica and her peanut butter escapades, or what she thought was my peanut butter endeavors, which, you know, little nasty little girl. If you haven't watched episode 6, you should. If you haven't watched episode 6, what are you doing with your life? You need to watch episode 6. Binge watch all of my episodes. Do you have anything else you want to leave the people with?
Just peace, love, and turkey legs. And yeah, if you got a kid in middle school, just tell him what it's like to take a dump before he does it and screws his life up. Or makes it better, because that was funny. It was funny.
Shout out to Grayson. Shout out to Ezekiel. Shout out to Hot Sauce Red. And on the next episode of SynTown, I'm gonna tell
real
you.
names.
Huh?
I should say those are not real names.
Those are not real names.
They are not.
All
They
right.
are totally made up.
Made up.
Yep.
For the fear of a lawsuit, for fear of defamation of character.
Yes.
These are not real names.
No, they are not.
Anyway, so here we go. So on the next episode of SynTown, I'm gonna tell you a story about how I got back at my sisters again, my younger sisters. It was a lot of back and forth, you know, little ways that we had to get revenge on each other, little pranks that we played, a lot of stuff. So next week, I'm gonna give you the juice because you need it, you love it, you want it. Next week, you'll get it. Stay with me, rock with me. Appreciate you being with me. And that's about it. That's all we got. You got anything else?
Nope. About wraps it up.
That's about it, y'all. Peace, love, and turkey legs. Bam!